Yeah, absolutely. Of course, the Demon Hunter is a strong hero indeed, but not so strong into Priestess. If it was a keeper, I would say that the Demon Hunter is a good pick because you can harass very well with Mana Burn in the early game and shut down that keeper. But the Priestess, basically not needing to rely on mana whatsoever, can just constantly poke and delay the Demon Hunter from creeping as much as possible. And I really like that Moon decided to just take the item, head across, getting the Gloves of Haste, which is one of the best items actually for the Priestess, as she has a really low base attack speed. So that means the cooldown is long, therefore the Gloves of Haste have a better, a stronger effect, and with that 15%. So a very nice find for her. And yeah, tech is beginning now for 15 Sway, and Moon seems to have spent some lumber elsewhere, as he only has 100 lumber right now. Yes, the Hunter's Hall in the back of the base here. Interesting to see. Will we see a tech out of Moon after this, or a second agent before? I'm very curious.
There is a Wisp on the left-hand side, an Archer on the left-hand side, maybe AP pushing. Moon love to do that. Will take some time. 15 Sway with that already on a timer. You want to prevent 40 food, 50 food push, and want to prevent leveling of the Potom as well, but so far the Potom is preventing the leveling of the Demon Hunter. No evasion, interesting to see, and no stat being picked by 15 Sway. True Shot Aura for Moon. He was holding on to that skill point a little bit, thinking, should I go Searing Arrows? Should I go Owl early on? No, it's good, good old True Shot Aura, and Moon is teching now.
Yeah, there seems to be... I've never personally seen this build order in Elfimir. Not that I've played the most amount of this matchup, but yeah. Oh, actually, there was a second Huntress being queued, but actually Moon deciding to cancel that and setting down an Expand right away, as well as we know him for, being the king of expansions, of course. And 15 Sway just building up his forces with the archers here. I would expect probably a Naga second out of him. Huntress all going down as well, suggesting that it will be lowers, which is very, very standard indeed. And yet Moon continuing Huntress production here. Huntresses, though, I feel like are strong in the early game sections, but later on when the Demon Hunter player gets more archers and a Naga, I feel like they're going to fall off quite hard.
Yeah, they will. I think it's a timing thing. Wants to establish a little bit of map control. Hunters are pretty good at creeping as well. And they're very fast, so they can chop down wisps. It's just to save time for the expansion, and then he'll probably rotate into his most beloved units, and that's Dryads.
Moon and his Dryads. Such insane micro we've seen from him, just beating players with purely Dryads, and of course they could be used insanely well to skirmish and pick off units that are rallying in or retreating. Nicely securing level 2 here, does 15 Sway. I'm curious about his skill pick going forward as well. Most likely Mana Burn and Evasion, although Immolation could be decent if there's a lot of Huntresses. Actually, Moon investing in Sentinel as well, which of course is a cheaper upgrade now. I think it's pretty much a no-brainer if you decide to build 2 to 3 hunts. Establishing some extra vision for him. Last hit, very important here, but an easy secure for 15 Sway. Getting the Ring of Superiority, a decent item, and of course the Ring of Protection from the first camp early. It's a pretty tanky DH right now, Neo.
Exactly. And he has evasion as well, plus Immolation.
Alright.
Interesting build, if you ask me. Won't help at all against Dryads, of course, but in the early stages, against the tier 1 units, and for creeping, of course, not a bad pick. 15 Sway scouted that expo, and goes for a Panda. What a rare sight in Nightofmere.
Yep, certainly an unusual pick, but very effective against Ancient of War units and potentially Ancient of Wind units, but I think 15 Sway here, perhaps to his dismay when he discovers that it will in fact be more than likely mass Dryads. The Panda has very little effectiveness. However, he can be used to siege really well. Of course, Wisps will get one shot by level 2 Breath of Fire, so if 15 Sway ever manages to start breaking down the expansion of Moon, he can pretty much secure the kill because the Wisp can't repair. So maybe he's aiming to do that sort of play.
Ah, of course, everybody knows level 2 Breath of Fire one-shots them. That's nothing that I wasn't aware of. Wonderful timing by 15 Sway though. Right into the base, onto the lore, and if the problem is Dryads, just eliminate the production building for Dryads.
Yeah, the timing here is really, really good by 15 Sway. The lore was 99% finished and he manages to cancel it. That is absolutely ridiculous timing. The second lore from him coming up in a pretty safe location though. Unlikely to be scouted by 15 Sway, of course. And in the meantime, the level 1 Potom, who's not looking very strong here, is doing her best to delay the creeping of the Panda, which is, of course, very important. As I said before, a level 3 push by this Panda could be fatal for Moon, honestly, especially if he can't get these lures up, Neil.
Exactly, and he gets level 2 from this camp. I guess Potom, no rise for her, no growth, and the Demon Hunter is back. Moon with the Naga can slow down the DH now. Is that enough this time? Yep. 15 sway with a quick calculation, that's not worth it. Not worth the moon juice at all. But the Demon Hunter is right on the Potom, getting slowed down. Dryads can't reach though, Potom is fast, and she should be safe now as well.
Yeah, the Priestess here, pretty low HP, but of course since she took True Shot Aura first, hasn't spent any mana points, so therefore we'll be able to heal up very nicely at the Moon Wells, of which Moons are very full indeed, hasn't used any basically. And 15 Sway coming for an attack right now, cancelling the AP. I feel like his spidey senses are tingling this game very well in terms of knowing when to attack and cancel buildings. He's done an exceptional job so far. Also prepared with a heal scroll, interestingly enough. I'm not too sure about that pick, as there isn't any AoE damage basically inside of Moon. But I guess the bouncing glaives, yeah, the bouncing glaives are kind of decent. But actually, Moon here is just like, well, I can't defend and the Expo's going to go down, but what counter damage can he do in the meantime?
Wow, sick game by 15 Sway. Amazing timings. And now we fry these wisps. Oh, we don't even need the mana. Moon, okay, detonating a little bit now, but all of them are gone. TP home. Moon going for base races. 15 Sway is on the way to tier 3, but that's a slap in the face for Moon. Just 8 minutes in.
Yeah, this is actually looking really rough for Moon right now. He actually didn't detonate any of those wisps at the expansion, so 15 Sway got all of the experience, which was kind of a gift, to be honest. However, 15 Sway is stuck on 30 food currently and can't actually produce any more bears, which is pretty annoying. You'd definitely like to get at least a couple bears out for that rejuvenation so you can carry on creeping efficiently. You can see when you don't have rejuvenation on the field how much damage you take from creeps. And Moon attempting the re-expansion right here, I feel like is sort of his only play. He's locked into tier 2 mass dryads, doesn't have much else of an option but to try and re-expand. But it all felt a little bit lackluster, this expansion approach, or was 15 Sway just so aware of what was going on?
Yeah, Moon a little sleepy. He gets the bears out now, the Moon Wells are finishing. He can queue in a shop, he can queue in the master training, improve bows as well, so he's spending his resources. Moon has the supply lead, but of course it's only tier 2. Oh, red spot, Ogre Lord. Trolls are helping a little bit. There we go. Cut, gas pipe, perfect for dryads, heroes, bears, everything. But here comes Moon, and this is the time to do damage now.
Absolutely, Moon here getting a nice creep check on 15 Sway with level 3 for the Panda coming in right now, doing amazing damage against those Huntresses and Archers. But the Dryads of 15 Sway are falling in the background here, and Moon with a pure ranged army is, you know, maximum DPS here pretty much, taking out most of Moon's units. Sorry, 15 Sway's units, and he needs those bears kind of ASAP, as Moon has bought so much space for his expansion and basically wiped out all of the lesser units that 15 Sway had, as he didn't have any bears on the field. And yeah, that creep check may have just brought Moon back into the game.
Oh man. We got Quberte in the cast, and all of a sudden Team UK is showing up with the subs. Sefit, thank you very much for the 14-month, and Screw-In, thank you for the 8-month resub, even though I slaughtered him in the Aces Up Cup round 1. Still a supporter of the channel, nice to see that. Thank you guys.
That was a very entertaining match indeed you guys played.
Always fun with Screw-In.
Always fun.
Alright, 15 Sway. The first 2 attacks were really good against the lore and against the Expo. The third one, not so much. Still an even match now with Moon's Expo about to be up. 15 Sway scouts it one more time. We take care of bigger camps. Devotion Aura, not too bad. And on the other side, Panda is leveling up as well. 3.5, but we gotta raise the question again. What's the Panda gonna be doing in a straight up fight?
Yeah, I feel like 15 Sway here might have to not look for any fights anymore and just rather go for a base attack. Bears, of course, are amazing at sieging buildings. Level 3 Panda is insane for sieging. And that would be an interesting approach to see from him, actually. He could even abuse a Zeppelin to get to Moon's base faster and take care of those buildings. Moon without any Nature's Blessing, we may even see a tree go down pretty quick in the face of maybe 5 or 6 siege bears, as we obviously love to call them. And Moon in the meantime here cleaning up some more camps. That level 2 True Shot Auras online for the Dryads, who pack quite a punch, but are lacking upgrades at the moment. I'd like to see a few upgrades come in there from Moon. They're very cheap. The Devotion Aura for him as well, of course, is an amazing item. So those Dryads are looking mighty fine.
So does Boots of Kel'Thuzad on a Demon Hunter, packing quite a punch now in combination with the +8 claws of attack. Love to see it. Moon is opening up that lab. Maybe he's the one going for the Zeppelin. Naga can fry the wisps. Dryad's also not too bad at them. He won't be going into a base race really, but if you take out the wisps, if there is no lumber, then there's no bears. Moon with a big supply lead now.
Yeah, and if you look at 15 Sway's base, we can see he really doesn't have too many wisps at his disposal. Only 6 if my eyes see correctly. So his 50-foot army is going to be very strong, but if a fight turns awry or if there is any lumber harass, then 15 Sway will struggle to get those units online. Of course, Elf, with Bears and Dryads being quite expensive lumber-wise, it can be tough sometimes if your economy gets hit. But who will find their opportunity first? Moon with an amazing Wisp Scout here to the right-hand side, seeing what 15 Sway is up to and deciding to reposition accordingly as he was heading up to the left side and is now, I think, going to get into quite a defensive position, so 15 Sway can't take care of that expand.
There's a Shredder for Moon, there's an Engine of War to help out. The Dryads will be in position, can kite to the left-hand side. Level 4 Naga, close to level 4 Podum, double heal scroll. It's so impressive how Moon turned this around after the initial expo cancel.
Yeah, that first creep jacket, that creep jacket, the red spot, was pretty much just a disaster for 15 Sway. He lost so many units, and Moon didn't really lose too much in return.
Zeppelin! Oh no! Intercepted!
Oh no way!
Ooh, this is not working out at all. Panda being caught with his pants down, and this is the easiest time of Moon's life. You can't fry Dryads, and if you kite a little bit now, this should definitely be your fight. 15 Sway TPing out. Ow!
Oh, and the bear goes down as well at the tail end of that teleport. So unfortunate for 15 Sway, only getting 1 Dryad kill basically. And what can he do now? There's a 25 supply difference between the two players. Moon, I think, feeling extremely comfortable in this game. How do you lame the master of Zeppelins?
Yeah.
So heads up by him to be aware of this play coming, and of course Owl Scout is helping tremendously in that regard as well.
What a beautiful Scottish Warcraft caster tradition to ask what you can do.
What can I do?
What can I do? Do it, do it, do it. Tillerman, absolute legend. Still 24 years after beta, or whatever it is.
Man's immortal. I wonder what he does these days. He's probably living a very normal, non-Warcraft life.
He pokered for a bit. I don't know if he's still doing that, but Scotland isn't so big, right? Maybe you meet him.
Yeah, he actually lives. If he still lives in Glasgow, he's only about 40 minutes away from me.
See, yeah, go visit him. Invite him to a cast.
Oh yeah, I'm sure he'd be delighted.
I would be delighted if you asked me out.
Aw, thanks, Neo. Well, we'll see each other soon again, I hope. So, we'll have plenty of opportunities for that.
Is that so?
Well, I'm hoping so.
Okay. hope dies last. Thank you, Berkey, for the 15-month reset. Moon now on the way to tier 3. Second attack upgrade also finishing. And 15 Sway, what's the way out of this when you're up against a player who's that good? With an army that's this big, it's tough.
Yeah, it's also a really frustrating situation for 15 Sway because that Owl Scout, of course, can't be Look, there's 2 Owl Scouts just chilling on 15 Sway's army right now. He basically can't do anything. Moon is completely aware of what his opponent is going to do, and I feel like 15 Sway here needs to pretty much just go for it all in as soon as possible. Moon is getting up to is already at 80 foot, getting towards those 2-1 upgrades currently. Look at those Dryads with the True Shot Aura, so much damage. Of course, the poison damage stacks as well, so the damage can be immense against a single target. And yeah, the Panda here isn't going to do very much in this upcoming engagement.
No, not at all. He has to hit some buildings, but he can't even get close to that because the Dryads are always there shutting the doors. Of course, Mo now 4 owls asserting dominance right there.
Absolutely, and here we are. Dryad micro from Moon. Let's see how good it is. Still in this day and age, the bears here, look how slow they are. We have Frost Arrow being applied and the Dryad slow. Basically not getting much DPS done at all. A couple Dryads of Moon in the front though getting picked off by 15 Sway's Dryads. They're not doing too much damage there, and yeah. Will 15 Sway stand tall in this fight with the bears? I'm not so sure, Neil. It's looking kind of grim. The Panda here doing quite good damage though against the heroes, actually taking Drunken Brawler as well. Just focusing that Priestess, which I think is pretty smart actually. But yeah, supply dwindling here for 15 Sway, dropping down to 46 food. Moon still at 66 right now, looking incredibly strong in this fight.
Yeah, you were looking for the Dryad micro. Moon's like, nah, let's be a little lazy here on this Tuesday. Let's just face tank everything because we can. Just because we can. Total demolition. 25 supply lead. Bear goes down as well. There's absolutely no chance for 15 Sway anymore in this game.
Yeah, I think the only thing he could have done is this little chase between the heroes. If 15 Sway passed the Ring of Superiority to the Panda, he might have had enough mana to go for a sneaky Breath of Fire and kill that Priestess, but I think that wouldn't even have mattered, to be honest. And yeah, this super stacked Demon Hunter just not really able to carry against the massive Dryad slow, which of course is very effective against high DPS units. The game's still not quite over yet though. Of course, 15 Sway not going to give up so easily. Being in low upkeep, no upkeep, sorry, isn't a bad situation for him either, able to get the full benefit, of course, from mining. And Moon, he did lose a decent amount of food in that fight, actually, overall. But now he has his own bears online, which, of course, will really help to give those Dryades a bit of a front line.
Yeah, he made that transition. He's getting orbs, he's getting staffs, he's getting more upgrades, he got Ultra Vision, he got Super Wells. He can basically do whatever he wants now. 2 minutes of mining still for 15 Sway, and then it's pretty much do or die. What kind of army can he muscle up in the time? But, I mean, Moon, he has the owls there. He can react to absolutely anything. He has so much time.
Those Owl Scouts last forever. It's absolutely ridiculous. They're just... We saw 4 of them at once at the start of the previous fight, which is pretty hilarious. And I see that 15 Sway is taking a page out of Kaho's book, not getting Wellspring basically ever. So the Moonwells are not super wells, unfortunately. Not that that would make too much difference, but of course, you elf players out there, please get this upgrade. It's incredibly good.
Oh yeah, he also sold the Katka's pipe. I was about to say, like, okay, maybe it doesn't matter that much if you have the pipe, but that's gone too. Okay, double orb, heal potion, super big demon hunter, but can't find an angle. Moon is just ready.
Yeah, perhaps 15 Sway is going to wait until his gold mine runs out, just to have the biggest army possible, and perhaps banking on the fact that Moon won't get above 80, so he wants to try and close that supply gap as much as possible. Of course, Moon has been paying tax for almost the entire game across both bases, so he's lost a ton of resources to upkeep, but has managed to obviously invest that additional gold into upgrades. We've got 2-2 for him right now. On the side of 15 Sway, he actually managed to get to 2-2 himself, which is pretty impressive given he was one base. But I guess that's the power of no upkeep.
Exactly, 2,500 gold that Moon spent in upkeep and 15 Sway didn't. But of course, there's still a gold advantage for Moon here. It would be quite a Moon thing to try to move into Chimeras now, but I don't think the time is there. Level 3 Fork Lightning, double heal scroll, Panda not level 5, Demon Hunter not level 5. This is it, this is the fight. Let's see how much 15 Sway can get done here. A GNL Bear trying to apply some reju, but good luck against Dryads that can dispel absolutely everything. Wonderful concave, bears being microed away, the Panda is hurt in the middle, and everything's falling apart for 15 Sway.
Yeah, the Naga and the Priestess of Moon here right now doing insane damage safely behind the bear line. And of course, 15 Sway here kind of struggling to keep his heroes alive. The hero focus is pretty strong indeed. There's no staff available to save the Demon Hunter, who's on cooldown. A bit of an oversight perhaps, and 15 Sway crumbling pretty quickly here in this last engagement.
Was to be expected, I guess, after, well, not really the fight in the middle, but the one after, where the second expansion try was supposed to be clobbered down, wasn't the fact. And Moon takes a convincing, well, is it that convincing? He takes a 1-0. Lost this expansion though. If 15 Sway is not giving him the fight at the red spot, I would love to see how the game plays out then.
Yeah, it was looking honestly quite dicey for Moon. 15 Sway with just excellent map awareness in the early game, getting rid of that first Ancient of Lore in Moon's base, cancelling the AP and then destroying the expand. It looked like it would be an easy game for him, but in the end, that red spot just went disastrously bad for him. I feel if you fail to pull the Ogre Lord into the corner at the tavern, you're usually at very high risk of being creepjacked badly. Sometimes you're able to peel off if you manage to bring him closer to the tavern, but when he starts running away like that back towards the camp and then you get creepjacked, it's usually really bad. All of your units are completely out of position. And of course, Dryads, as I said before, amazing at killing retreating units, small army skirmishes. They're very ideal for that. And yeah, 15 Sway pretty much bled most of his army and was kind of too weak to go cross-map and cancel the expand once again. So Moon, nicely done by him in the end, kind of persevering with his strategy. The 15 Sway perhaps a little bit of a missed opportunity for him to give himself a fighting chance in game one.
Well, he did better than I expected, to be honest. Our next map is Springtime. New addition to the TeD Cup. It's kind of rare to see maps like this in Asian tournaments, as they still love their Turtle Rocks and their Terrana stands and their Amazonias for whatever reason.
Oh, Lord.
I guess with the addition of Springtime and Shallow Grave, that won't happen too often anymore.
All maps that I vetoed for a long, long time. My ladder playing experience.
Rightfully so.
But yeah, cool to get Springtime. I think Springtime and Shallow Grave were not quite quickly as accepted as Tidehunters was. I think most people realized that Tidehunters was some of the, pretty much the best new map that was added to the scene. But Springtime and Shallow Grave, give them their due. I think they're both really nice maps as well. It is still a shame that on Springtime the middle expansion doesn't really ever get taken because it's just so risky. It just really doesn't work.
Well, someone hasn't seen any games from Edo.
Did he lose? Like when he tried to expand the middle, at least one series.
You win some, you lose some.
You win some, you lose some. I suppose you could say that about life, Neo.
Correct.
Warcraft in general.
Yeah, exactly. I always try to get that middle expansion. It's harder than you think to keep that up. But let's see if Moon is cheeky enough. That would be quite some dominance after 4 owls. Now the middle expansion. The favorite with the 1 and 0, and this might be the first time I see Moon on Springtime, if I remember correctly. And I expect anything but Bear Mirror. So, guys, let's go. Match points, Moon.
Moon here taking game 1 after a pretty nicely contested match between him and 15 Sway. 15 Sway, how will he adapt after losing game 1 there, which I felt like he had a good opportunity to take a lead in or even secure that game, and in the end kind of got crushed by the mass strides of Moon, as he so often has done to his opponents. Will we see any changes in the first hero picks, Neo? What are your predictions?
I think Moon is going Demon Hunter as well this time.
Ooh.
It's kind of like I haven't seen Potom in so long. I was quite shocked to see her on map 1. Rotated out of meta, it was all Demon Hunter with all the different styles you can play with the Demon Hunter, especially when you're Moon. Or is it Potom time again? I feel like the Potom meta comes and goes in waves, and there's no real explanation for it. But you know what? The Prophet is right once again.
Quberte Stradamus game 1 and Neo Stradamus game 2.
Boom.
Just the perfect duo.
As if we know what we're doing here.
Always.
Well, always. That's a bold statement, dude. I've been here very hungover, not knowing what matchup I cast.
How do you even get through those moments, honestly? It must be
I don't remember.
A flurry of pixels on the screen that you can't tell what they're doing.
Yeah, back when we were younger, of course. Now we're all professional and treat this as a job. Never happen again anymore.
Well, we are going to see a difference, actually, despite the fact that both players chose the same first hero. Moon hasn't started his second Moon Bow yet. So it's going to be a Hunter's Hall once again from him, with Demon Hunter. That's unusual. Perhaps it's going to be another expansion game by Moon. I feel like whenever you want to go for early hunts, you usually want to leverage some sort of expansion because you're investing so much into tier 1 and you need to give yourself that the expansion lead. 15 Sway, it appears that he is going the same build as before, a standard Demon Hunter opener, not actually using the shop trick, which is interesting. Second Archer coming up before the tech as well, and Moon here going for the Wisps with Immolation. What?
Okay.
That's interesting to see, Neo.
Yeah, what the...
Oh man, the burn damage actually on 3 of those, pretty nicely done. This is costing 15 Sway quite a bit of wood, but does have enough to start the tech already. Moon third Moonwell as well. This is really, really unusual.
Yeah,
I would have expected the second Ancient of War here.
I guess you need the third Moonwell to just replenish the lost mana and the HP, because this was expensive and didn't really do too much, but pull 15 Sway back and cause some Wisps to move.
Yeah, I think you're right, because the nighttime period is starting now. The third Moonwell is now almost complete. Tech has begun for Moon as well, who is a little bit behind, about 20 seconds or so, but not too bad for him. And yeah, Huntresses, I'm curious to see how much use they're going to get. Oh, 15 Sway, almost losing an Archer, but nicely shadow melding it for the second strike. The last strike of the Demon Hunter finishes her off, and yep, Moon here, they need to go back, obviously, having exhausted most of his health and mana pool, and there'll be 3 Moonwells ready for him to bait them. Very nice. When
I look at 15 Sway's base, this looks like Talons to me. It's almost like walling this off.
Yeah, it's a very Talon-esque base. Of course, there is a very large opening below the altar here, but in any case, it is quite reminiscent of that base build you do against Orc in particular. This one... Wait, Moon's just rallying in his units to try and cancel the Moonwell here. He is playing so differently compared to other elves in Mirror. He actually sold TP as well. Dust and boots for him. He's just going all out aggression right now.
Seems like he's busy later today. More hunts, tech on the way. If we really go oh, there is a Huntress Hall now, but rather late. I was about to say, if we really go Talons, this is a little reminiscent of what Cini played in this one Warcraft Champions final, where he made it to the grand final actually, and demolished a lot of Night Elves on his way, but 15 Sway not learning from that. A little busy with the Hunts Hall, so Dryads, Bears will all be late, Ultravision will be late. But I'm confused, Quberte. I have no idea what's happening in this game.
Yeah, I'll be honest, this is where my expertise comes to its end in Elfmere. This is definitely unusual to see. The Huntress Hall being late for 15 Sway is absolutely fine, though he doesn't really have the resources to drop 2 lores or 2 wins or whatever, plus the Tavern Hero that he will almost certainly choose.
The Night Elf apologists. The Huntress Hall is never too late. We didn't forget about the Huntress Hall. It's all for a reason. He's at 500 gold. Okay, yeah, he needs a second hero,
so,
okay.
With second hero, and then he doesn't have resources, and the Huntress Hall's already finished. See, it all works out, Neo. It all works out. Just trust the process.
Okay. Yeah, maybe you're right.
A player's forces are under attack.
No dust, interestingly, on the side of 15 Sway, even though he went to buy Boots of Speed, so that Archer is just going to be scouting out what's going on, and Moon taking his time here to clear 15 Sway's natural, which is a nice move by him, getting rid of camps on his opponent's side of the map. Is he really going to creep the shop as well? Wow, Moon here just kind of the greedy creeping, but paying off very nicely, since the Archer, of course, was keeping tabs on 15 Sway. Sees that he's heading off towards his own Merc, and yeah, Moon just playing really well around, playing very well using the information that he has to hand. Huntresses, as you can see, they are taking quite a lot of damage creeping this camp. It's quite difficult to clear spots with them. But yeah, Moon getting level 3, and unfortunately, Scroll of the Beast, not the best item, going to sell that, and Circle of Nobility from the Merc camp of 15 Sway for him, very nice.
Yeah, I guess you want to rotate out of hunts anyway. No, he is using the Moon Juice to heal up again. Lore, Staff, Tier 3. This looks almost like normal Bear Mirror for Moon, who has the advantage now with a level 3 Demon Hunter. No evasion though, if there's some focus fire. Demon Hunter could melt, as we've seen before, but more creeping will help with that. 15 Sway is extremely passive.
Yeah, I think he kind of has to be though. He's down 2 levels now across both heroes. Does have strong items on both of his heroes. Moon doesn't have anything too insane on his side. But I do feel that in a straight fight, Moon would be able to easily pick off these archers with slow arrow plus huntresses, and of course Demon Hunter right clicks. So yeah, I feel like 15 Sway here doesn't have too much of a choice, but what I'm really fascinated by is Moon's opening build, and you can see how it's translated into a lead for him. He is so far ahead in tech right now. A good 45 seconds or so ahead. Got ahead in levels, 2 camps away from his opponent's side of the map, getting to both shop creeps. You can see how a well thought out game plan, while knowing what your opponent is likely going to do, has translated into a massive lead for him. I'm very, very impressed.
Well, 15 Sway had a massive lead in game 1 and fumbled it. Let's see if Moon is doing the same. But yeah, bears will appear a lot earlier, orb will appear a lot earlier. 15 Sway is now crossing the map, trying to... does he have to level? I don't know. Invul Potion, heal scroll. Yep, one more mercenary camp and then maybe we go before Master Bears are finished.
I feel like that would pretty much be an anti-timing normally, as Moon has already hit tier 3 but didn't get the Adept on the way to tier 3. So 15 Sway might have a little bit of an opportunity here, but I don't think he's doing too well in this upcoming engagement yet. Realizes as well, oh man, the level 2 Fork Lightning is so strong against archers, picking off 2 archers, 15 Sway's army. Getting lower and lower supply, but he does have a ton of gold to bring himself back up to 50 with bears.
Okay, there was of course additional experience for Moon, level 3 on the Naga now, additional level of Fork Lightning. You want to rotate out of archers anyway, but not like this really. Rough game for 15 Sway. And now we get bears. Still no master training, by the way. Quite curious. Lumber problems on Moon's side a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether this is just greed on his part, trying to get 4 bears out right away so that they're already on the map and then start researching the master training. But yeah, this is a very, very late master training by Moon. Either an oversight or it's completely intentional, but very, very greedy, of course. Using the Invis Demon Hunter now to keep track of 15 Sway's movements. I absolutely love this play. If the Magnetor Reaver item gets stolen here, I think 15 Sway will be very, very sad about that, and it's trapped there, so it's quite an easy click for Moon, but he's standing very far away, but he... oh my god.
Card gas pipe in a bear mirror. Oh, and an archer. Moon is just toying with the youngster.
And he forced the heal scroll just to keep the Dryad alive as well. That was a huge loss for him. Oh, 15 Sway not actually using the Forked Lightning here. Is the Demon Hunter in a little bit of trouble? Oh, not quite. Puts a speed on him, able to get far away from the Naga and the Dryads. Oh, the Ancient of War actually getting a smack there as well. Moon creeping in the meantime as well, getting Crystal Ball. But yeah, what can you do? The Demon Hunter here is 15 Sway is the same movement speed, not able to catch up to Moon. And yeah, devastating loss here for 15 Sway.
Moon juice is empty, so really tough to heal up the Demon Hunter once again until he rejoins with the bears. We can of course apply reju. Oh, we got a Care Bear, wonderful. Engine of War is getting decimated as well. Oh boy, 15 Sway, you need a big play. Maybe Zeppelin play from here on out, because he can't take a straight up fight anymore.
Yeah, he certainly can't hope to win any straight engagement. 2 bears on the field though. Very weak indeed for a bear drop. There are 2 more rallying in right now, but Moon is in a nice position, quite aggressively placed. Sees where his opponent is, of course, just being directly adjacent to him. And yeah, are we going to see a straight fight here? That would be perhaps ill-advised for 15 Sway.
Yeah, I don't know. Loves...
Moon's playing so greedy.
Well, but he's also very successful so far. Do we see any upgrades? No, expansion instead. Demon Hunter trapped though. Might be forced into an Invul Potion or a staff right there. Both Demon Hunters under fire. But trigger on the finger on the trigger, I mean, to get them out. Yeah. Making mistakes here sometimes. 15 Sway with a sweet
the Demon Hunter getting sniped. No way! Not paying attention there, he had Invul Potion. What a huge mistake by him. And Moon here should be able to easily clear up. Almost trolling, honestly, with so much gold at his disposal and an expansion in the back here. Oh my god, he loses his own Demon Hunter as well. Both players not respecting the power of that level 2 Fork Lightning. That is absolutely hilarious.
So much.
Moon's gonna lose his own Naga. Wait, staff is available?
Oh,
no, staff wasn't off cooldown on Moon's Demon Hunter. Thankfully, he does have the Invul Potion here to get away, but my god, what a throw by Moon here. Wait, he's rallying in his low bear city microed home! Neil, we are seeing an I'm just speechless right now. That was so badly played by Moon. That was hilarious. He also accidentally cancels his own staff home. What is going on right now? Did this kid fall over his keyboard or something? What just happened?
Well, you know, I said finger on the trigger. I don't know if they broke the finger or it just fell off or something, but there was no triggers whatsoever except me who's being a little triggered from the gameplay we're witnessing here. Oh my god! Horrendous play!
I mean, it's bringing entertainment. This was
Yeah.
just the most hilariously badly played fight on both sides from players of this caliber. Both with Invo Potions on Demon Hunters, not respecting the Forked Lightning and both dying. They're both playing with super low ping as well. So it's pretty much inexplicable, to be honest, what just occurred before our eyes. And 15 Sway, he's in a pretty commanding position here now, all of a sudden, with 1-0 lead in upgrades. Of course, his heroes are on the field, looking strong. We've got almost a level 5 Nag on his end as well. 50 food, lots of gold. This is the position the Moon was in not long ago, and now Moon here, without his second hero and pretty much a dead Demon Hunter with no items, he's going to go down very easily here, and I think we should see the GG coming any second.
Well, we'll see about that. 15 Sway thriving in the chaos, pressing forward. No hero, and Moon wasn't that successful at StarCraft, so he calls the game. My god, what a disaster. What an ultimate disaster. Look at the, oh my god, the graph. You see that on the Discord call?
Yep.
Moon was so far ahead.
Oh my
Jesus
god.
Christ.
Just to put in context how nearly unlosable this game is, given that it was a mirror, that graph shows it all.
Yeah.
That's what happens if you let Jesus take the wheel and you just like go AFK for a bit, feed your kid, or don't know, pet your cat or something. I don't know. What just happened there, Neil?
Me neither. Moon, he like on game 1 there was this big fight where Moon had a lot of drives and I thought, oh, he's just face tanking, maybe he's a little too confident here. That wasn't a good fight by him either, and this fight was absolutely horrendous. Maybe Moon isn't in the great shape that we said he is.
He played so well up until that point though, Neo. It was such a well orchestrated game plan. He got himself a huge tech lead, the experience lead, the creep lead, every lead you could imagine. He had like 1200 gold on 50 food and an expo coming up. And he just throws the 50 food fight. In that position, you have no reason to take, first of all, to take a straight fight with that many resources available and the expand coming up. But then to misplay it so badly, you lose your heroes 3 times. That was just, it was a clown fiesta, but it was amazing. It was amazing to watch at the same time. That was funny.
I love it, love it. When Warcraft is bad, sometimes it's really good. And I think Moon is just wanna do us a favor, give us more Warcraft and give the Asian viewers a more or less new map for them as we decide the series on Shallowgrave.
All right, time to reset, recalibrate, and focus on game 3 here as both players and casters, I think, after what we just witnessed on Springtime.
Dude, so many channel points got burned on that last game.
Oh, beautiful.
Love to see it.
Don't you just love it?
I do. All into my pocket. All that sweet channel points. Demon Hunter again. Now I wonder who's more familiar with Shallowgrave. Both played it at DreamHack times. So Moon, yeah. When he last played this map, I think in a bigger tournament, he lost it because the creeps didn't cast the lightning shield and wrecked his engine of war, etc. He's moving away to the mercenary camp right away. That's unusual.
Yeah, quite an unusual opener, but with Demon Hunter is viable due to the fact that immolation helps you creep so well in the early game stages, but it is an expensive investment indeed. You get a ton of XP and potentially an amazing item like Greater Heal Potion or Greater Invo, but man, do you have to invest so much wood. The Agent of War doesn't start creeping until later. You've got to use at least 2 wisps to repair this camp, if not 3, because of the web that comes out on the first one. It can get very dicey very quickly here. But yeah, Moon hoping to secure an experience lead for himself. Yep, there we are. Immolation being used right now to help creep. 15 Sway on the other hand, nicely using the lightning shield as is standard on this map, but as we know, quite a finicky map to actually trigger that lightning shield on. And yeah, I'd expect to see much of the same from 15 Sway this game, having played the same way basically in both maps so far. The Moon here, having invested so much lumber, I'd be surprised to see the Hunter's All come out this time.
Yeah, can't really do that, I think. Big heal potion, wonderful. Immolation build on both sides this time. Very helpful against the Frost Armor units. Slippers, gloves, nice damage output there. Oy, 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 oy. Moon, lots of gold, little lumber, as you pointed out before, so his tech a little late, but we're cruising towards tier 3, and maybe both players will just want to stabilize a little bit.
Yeah, both opting for a very passive, you know, let's just agree to a ceasefire and creep to level 3 type game. But Moon should be able to get his own level 3 first. I'm almost surprised to see him head back home here, actually. I would have liked to see him take the green and then head back home. But perhaps, where is he going next? He's not going to creep the natural, right? Okay, Moon is going to go creep the natural with the Wand of Illusion. That makes sense. Okay. In the meantime, 15's way here going to go do his Merc without the Ancient of War, so relying on the Troll Priest to keep the Demon Hunter alive. And those archers tanking the damage of the level 6 Warlord here pretty nicely as well. Both players going for very greedy creeping, but of course they're both aware of what the other is doing, so no harm, no foul.
But an expansion. Moon is going 2 base into Dryads once again. His favorite playstyle, I'd say, maybe alongside Potom AP pushes. And 15 Sway, as throughout the entire series, has very good scouting.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw especially in game 1 just how effective his scouting was. Moon here getting the Berserker to help clean up the rest of these trolls that have been inner fired. They're very pesky and very tanky. But I'd like that he has abandoned the creep with the hero to go to 15 Sway's base. 15 Sway going to go for the shop here? No. Just buying the Boots of Speed. Thank goodness for that. That camp is very, very tough. And yeah, swooping in for the cancel, and I think perhaps Moon's movement here not the best. Should be aware that 15 Sway is going to come over and cancel this, and it's a pretty easy cancel for him.
Okay, Moon out of position, but not committing with the Demon Hunter, rather chasing units. How expansive is this going to be? Expansion at 2/3, Demon Hunter's here. No chance, and... Okay, Moon can still go into Dryads now, into a more normal game, but he has no Hunter's Hall. Is that late now, or is that on purpose too?
That's definitely not on purpose.
Okay, okay.
That's a late Hunter's Hall if I ever saw one. Yeah.
Dude, we have a Moon facing the lower bracket.
We really do. I'm kind of after, I don't know, man. Like Moon brought it back that first game so strongly. After kind of a weak early game, let's say. And then game 2, having such an amazing game plan and getting himself all the advantages in the world, and then throwing it. This might be the end of the road for him in the first part of the bracket here.
Well, maybe he just needs the pressure. He was thriving and playing very, very well from behind in game 1. We have the most normal mirror in June 2023 with Keeper second. Quite a development in the past couple of months away from Naga, more into Keeper, more Entangle, and obviously Thorn's Aura. The first straight up bear mirror.
Yeah, this is as bog standard as it gets, honestly. 15 Sway should have a bit of a lead here, though. Tech speeds are looking the same, but we can see one lore is already finished for 15 Sway, the second one nearly done. And Moon, he is so far behind on tech buildings right now. I'd like to see actually getting entangled here. He would really like to not have to burn this big heal right now. Okay, Moon getting out of there. Absolutely fine. And yep, the Keeper's creeping here. Should be advancing a little bit faster for 15 Sway, having left the natural for a second hero, which I like a lot. And now, yeah, will 15 Sway actually know what Moon's creep route is? That would be interesting to know. The Ancient of War here positioned next to the lab, which is a pretty difficult camp to take. And yep, Keeper coming home here to defend. This is a big win for 15 Sway.
Yeah, you raised the question if 15 Sway knows Moon's creep route. I wonder if Moon knows Moon's creep route. Because there's so much gone already. Goes for the lab with the Ancient of War in position. Okay, so he was prepared. 15 Sway can relatively easy follow that. Crystal Ball for him. Alright. This will be a sell most likely. Tier 3 unfolding. Finally the first Dryads for Moon now. Down in supply, down in tech, down in upgrades as well. He needs to rely on items and timings and fighting positions, I guess.
Yeah, Moon has a lot of work to do, honestly, to bring this game back, I feel. 15 Sway may choose to either use his advantage here to go for a decisive strike, or just continue to play passive, hope to rely on his late game power. But that would also give Moon the opportunity to do so as well, so I'm not sure what play is best. Moon here getting the Health Stone, of course a very nice item indeed, pulling out the Ogre Mauler right now to creep that camp. Very important items here from these camps, Neo. 15 Sway on the other side got Trusha Aura, which is unfortunate for him, not a good item. Ring of the Arc Magi is the drop here from Moon. A pretty decent item, but of course we would all love to see that Vamp Aura.
Not today, things stay in balance here, and we have a Zeppelin. By the way, magnificent Crystal Ball by 15 Sway, if I'm not mistaken. Not scouting the shop or the expo, but in the middle of the two, exactly where Moon was creeping at the time. Shout out for that. He didn't see the Zeppelin though, and that might be the X factor that Moon needs.
Yeah, Moon going for a really early attack actually. It's somewhat unusual to see an attack this early without bears. It's all ranged units and just the Keeper loaded up. Moon no staff to quickly get his Zeppelin out of dodge, so most likely a TP going to be traded here, I would say. Lumber is tight, of course, on both sides at this stage of the game, which Moon is aware of. They're playing a mirror match. Some Wisp going to be going down here, I think. Of course, Entangle level 1 is enough to get rid of a Wisp as well, so that needs to be dettled right away. And yeah, this is quite annoying for 15 Sway to deal with, but an Orb of Venom and a Demon Hunter should take care of things for now.
Right on. This is usually a play that you expect from your opponent when he goes Naga, because Fork Lightning is so good against the Wisps. Here, with the Keeper, not that effective. Has to use Entangle one at a time, doesn't even lead to the second kill. 15 Sway not forced into a town portal. Pretty calm and collected, the young Chinese.
I feel like this Zeppelin Harass isn't accomplishing too much for Moon right now. He isn't getting a second base up. He isn't getting any upgrades up. Just looking to snipe Wisps, which is definitely annoying for 15 Sway. You can see he is struggling big time for Lumber right now, but has just invested 160 into bears, so it's understandable. But it's not like he's getting creep camps done either, because he just has a Demon Hunter on the field. And 15 Sway is like, I'm just going to go cross map and push your base with my whole army, and we'll see if that ends up working out. Yeah, Moon here deciding to bring back the Zeppelin. I think he knows that he might be in trouble. Oh, actually changing course and setting a new one for. Wait, now he's changing. He keeps changing his idea. He was going back home, then he's not going back home.
Oh, so indecisive.
Kind of indecisive, but yeah. Oh wait, the bear's here. Oh man, Entangle needs to come out quickly, but yeah, didn't offload the Keeper first to entangle one of those GNL bears. Kind of unfortunate. And yeah, TP is going to be forced. Yeah, Moon going home right now. And TP is being traded. This was quite a interesting exchange. Not too much really happened. Oh wait, the bear did die in 15 Sway's base. Okay, nicely done by Moon. He actually got quite a bit of value there.
And of course he caught up in tech. We got Master Bears on both sides now. We got 50 food on both sides. No big advantage for 15 Sway anymore. And in the end, the Zeppelin play allowed exactly this. Exactly what Moon needed. Time. Very nicely done. There was an amazing Engine of War block on the left-hand side, by the way. Absolutely 100% not on purpose. Just, you know, pathing in Warcraft 3 sometimes.
God, they're so annoying to get past those stupid Engines of War. It's like you feel like the collision isn't that much, but they can block you for an eternity, it feels like. Alright, Medallion of Courage here. Not too sure which hero I'd actually give this to. The 15 Sway right now. It's amazing on the Keeper, of course, adding more damage and intelligence for him. Helping his tankiness a little bit, but obviously love putting tanky items on the Demon Hunter as well. But I think it will suffice on the Keeper for now. And Orb of Venom on him would be cool to see as well. Moon going to cancel one of 15 Sway's Moonwells is actually the 60 foot Moonwell, so a very important one. And keeping 15 Sway below 50 foot for as long as possible may be a beneficial play. Moon can translate that advantage. And yeah, Ancient Django Neo. What an amazing find for Moon.
Absolutely wonderful. I start to believe that the pipe is actually cursed, as we've seen on Springtime. Once you found the pipe, everything went downhill from there. So Ancient Django, probably the best item you can find. Bear entangled once again. Moon is able to get up to 60. 15 Sway is not. Has some lumber issues as well for upgrades. That's gonna be a problem. Moon backstepping quite a bit here. Town Portal, Ankh, Heal Scroll on 15 Sway. You might be able to fight this.
A nice focus fire onto the Berserker of 15 Sway by Moon there, and might actually get a... Oh, nicely done. Gets the Dryad on the way out as well. And yeah, no chance for 15 Sway in that particular engagement. Only 2 bears at his disposal. Has a ton of gold right now as well. Perhaps some more additional wisps are needed. I'm not sure. There are actually 8 in the base currently, so there should be enough to sustain bear production for now. We have the first armor upgrade coming for 15 Sway right now, who is sitting at 1-0. Moon, I did see when he was creeping the red, queued up a bunch of stuff, including Ultra Vision. If I can find his army right now. Oh, another Zeppelin, of course, for Moon. So we'll find out what the upgrades are momentarily, but there is the second armor coming in for Moon right now as well, which of course is very nice. I love the little archer here where the Demon Hunter currently is, just a scout, but also 15 Sway moving his archer out as well, seeing the Demon Hunter coming. Very nicely done. Both players playing well around the map and keeping tabs on things.
And Quberte, if you're curious what the upgrades are, just look at the overlay. It's 1-1 for Moon. It's soon to be 1-1 for 15 Sway as well. But here comes the bear bust onto the Entangled Goat Mine. If this works, this is a huge win for Moon, but the army is there, so is the Demon Hunter. Moon's Zeppelins have a tendency to crash, especially in games versus Colorful, so better be safe than sorry. The big advantage for 15 Sway though, double orb, and that is very helpful against such plays.
Yeah, of course, Demon Hunter, a great orb carrier keeper, not too shabby either, and he actually has plus 13 damage, does 15 Sway's keeper right now, without Roar. And of course, Orb of Venom adds huge damage over time, 54 damage per target technically, if you spread it perfectly, so it is huge. Yeah, this is kind of classic bear mirror right now, honestly. We're seeing one person not able to leave their base because the other player is Zeppelin laning them. Yeah, we might be in for a long one here, boys.
Buckle up, get some snacks, refill your coffee. We have an expansion for Moon. This must be scouted throughout the entire series. 15 Sway did a wonderful job with that. But if he's slipping now, this could cost him the game. Of course, he's always be drawn back by that Zeppelin. 3 bears here. Build a little triangle around the gold mine, not giving too much surface area. Demon Hunters are clearing the Cobalt camps, getting one step closer to level 5. No real Thorns aura advantage. Moon's Wisps are roaming across the map to gather some information. And man, 15 Sway, he just has the instincts. And that's a counter.
Yeah, I really like the counter Zeppelin here, just to have vision of your opponent's Zeppelin. This is a very standard reaction. You need to give yourself vision above the trees as well in order to plan out whether you can move out from the base or not anytime soon. 15 Sway does scout the expansion here that Moon is building in the bottom left corner. Very nicely done by him, but the question still remains, will he be able to move out of the base with the threat of this Zeppelin just always looming over his head, Neo?
It is. 16 minutes in. We get upgrades, of course. 2-2 on the way for Moon. Maybe some time for 15 Sway to catch up, but he's still so low on lumber, as you said. Might be tough. Oh, he is short on lumber because he just queued upgrades. 2-2 it is. There was 3-1 for a second even. But reminding himself that the more damage you do, the more damage you take. This is what Thorns Aura does to you.
Yeah, Thorns Aura is just amazing, honestly. Quite an easy aura to overlook, even despite the buffs it received. But yeah, amazing indeed. Wow, Moon trying to drop to kill his opponent's Zeppelin. That is really cool, actually. We're seeing interesting little opportunities and timing windows being taken here to try and get rid of the resources of your opponent here. And 15 Sway feels forced basically just to break into low upkeep here and move out, I think, fairly soon. Moon responding as well, also starting to break into low upkeep. I think that was the 3rd armor online for Moon as well. Yep, 3 armor upgrades for him on his bears right now. Very nice.
That's sick.
And taking the opportunity now to drop on the top of these bears, maybe looking for a little pick off. There's 2 bears that are very low right now for 15 sway. He loses 2 bears. This is kind of disastrous, honestly. A 3rd bear is going down in the back as well. Moon nicely microing one of his bears in the back, rejuving the Berserker.
It's gorgeous.
Oh man.
As much as
4th
we were
bear.
laughing about the fight on springtime, this is just perfect execution by Moon right here.
Yeah. Seizing his opportunity, it was just absolutely beautiful by him. Gotta get the entangled as well, and he has an expansion, of course, in the background, which is going down, but at what cost, Neo? At least 4 bears and 15 sway's own entangled. Amazing result from him.
Exactly, and maybe the rest of his base, because he can redraw up now, needs to be a town port by the Keeper after destroying the expansion of Moon. The tree has actually fallen. Ooh, Zeppelin close. Demon Hunter versus Demon Hunter. Zeppelin to the rescue, town portal, and is this okay, it's a 16 food lead for Moon, but the Expo was killed. But on the other side, Moon is the only one mining with 1,000 gold in the bank. I have a very tough time seeing 15 sway taking this.
Yeah, Moon slightly losing oversight of his own resources, kind of getting into a bit of an awkward situation, having to micro the units out from 15 sway's base into the Zeppelin, which did get very low. The Demon Hunter got trapped, so in those situations your attention is spread pretty thin, and unfortunately Moon doesn't have the 80 food Moonwell as a result to get up to 80 food, but that's okay. We have the 3rd attack upgrade coming for him. 3 bears are on the cards for Moon right now, which is just pretty much an insurmountable difference, given that 15 sway only has 2-2.
Can 15 sway snipe the Zeppelin somehow? He's building a wind. He's queuing a Hippogriff, but that will take like 2-3 minutes. Time for Moon to explore the map and build that Tree of Life once again. 3 upgrades, as you said, covering all the other gold mines as well. Is that another Tree of Life? That is another Tree of Life. Man, Moon. And now the Zeppelin drop onto the base again.
Oh man. This is just so brutal for 15 sway. I've played against these sort of... I've been in these sort of situations as well, and it's so rough to deal with when you're the one that has to always defend and can't move out from the base. And yet, the Entangle goes down once again. Moon with over a 1.2k lead in gold in terms of main gold mine shortly. Soon to grow even further, since the Entangle takes another 60 seconds to build. Just brutal by Moon.
Exactly. Saves the bear as well on 2 HP. Feels good. 1,000 gold advantage. Plus the second base. And not even a big bang for 15 sway. Plus he's down in 2 upgrades. Wellspring now as well. Moon has all the advantages you can think of. Heroes are better leveled. He had more economy to work with. He has another base up. Items better. Arguably. With the heal potion and the health stone, super tanky heroes as well. New Zeppelin, rinse and repeat.
Yeah, there's pretty much no reason here to divert from your winning strategy, to be quite honest, as Moon. He can continue this lame pressure, let's say, for as long as he needs. The only trouble is, of course, you need to rebuy a TP oftentimes, unless you want to really play with fire and potentially lose your Zeppelin across the trees, as we've seen many times before. But yeah, perhaps it's a decisive push here by Moon. That would be odd, given that he is the one expanding behind this and must know that, of course, that 15 sway's gold mine will run out fairly soon. Of course, it has a bit more in the bank there due to all the lane that he received. But yeah, expansion for Moon coming up shortly. Can move the main if he chooses, but of course I would say that's pretty risky given how far the remaining gold mines are from the base. You always want to be able to staff home and use your Moonwells.
Yeah, people say, oh, the Night Elves get a free expansion in 22 minutes. No, it's not that free. It comes with an opportunity cost of staffing heroes to that expo. 100% correct. Moon doesn't want to fight into that base because Moon Juice is available. But yeah, his base is growing. It's at 2/3, and I think this cannot be stopped by 15 sway anymore. It's getting rougher and rougher.
Yeah, the only upside for 15 sway right now is that he is catching up on upgrades, going to get the 3rd armor right now as well, and does have about 1,200 gold to play with, since he's sitting on no upkeep right now. So he will be able to get at least 5 additional bears, which would propel him to 70 food.
Yep. Another advantage for 15 sway is also that he's like 13, 14 years younger, so if the stalemate continues for very, very long, he might die last.
Well, perhaps Moon is in very good health and lives to over 100 or something like that.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I could see that. Still playing Warcraft.
Moon is eternal.
Forces are under attack.
Moon is indeed eternal.
Third attack upgrade being queued for 15 sway as well. I like that he's trying to catch up as much as possible, of course, 3-3 being the maximum in Warcraft. But yeah, Moon with the expand, he doesn't have to do much, honestly. As long as 15 sway doesn't have a counter expansion, he can just sit on the defense and just chillax, man. It's
Yeah.
a pretty nice situation for him. Orb of Venom being purchased for the Keeper on Moon's side, I like that. 2 Orbs of Venom, of course, is better than 1, so like to see that. But look at the gold bank actually for 15 sway. I think he might have sold a couple items, but did he cancel the... Yes, he did cancel the third attack upgrade, actually preferring to get more bears. It's about 1800 gold's worth. Will 15 sway actually manage to close the supply gap and push Moon? That would be quite interesting to see how that turns out.
You need some time, though. Time that Moon's using to continue mining and build the army up to 70. Also the question, where will we fight? With a lot of bears, you need lots of open ground. Shallowgrave provides that on the left-hand side, for example. Greetings to Passion. Haven't seen you in a while. Salut. How's life?
A name that I'm certainly familiar with as well, back from the War 3 Arena days. Nice to see you, mate. Alright, 15 sway obviously doesn't really have the option of setting down a counter expansion. It would be too easily cancelled given that he has to camp his base. So he's going to move out the Tree of Eternity right now to the natural gold mine. Scouting a little bit with the Demon Hunter. Moon, of course, dealing some counter damage back. 15 sway might be starting off the fight here with quite low mana. I wonder if he's going to use the Moonwells here. Yeah, he does decide to use them. That's fair enough. A Fairy Dragon coming to the mix. Honestly, if it goes uncountered and Moon spams a lot of roars and rejuvenations, the Fairy Dragon might get insane value. Even just one of them can pack a huge punch.
Yeah, I like it. If you have the Ancient of Wind, why not? I'd also like to see a Talon. It's so cheap and Fairy Fire is so good if you focus something or just to reveal the opponent's position on the map.
Yeah, and also the Fairy does help kind of establish a better position. Your opponent usually has to back up or change what they're doing, but Moon does have quite a lot of piercing damage on his side to counter that. We have obviously 3/3 Dryads, we have a Berserker which does amazing damage, the Keeper, there's a leftover Archer, so perhaps one might not get the most use, but I am going to be focusing on that. I really want to see if this one Fairy Dragon does a lot in the upcoming fight.
So much attention to this Fairy, so much pressure on that poor thing now.
Once again, the power of no upkeep, Neo, coming to effect here. 15 sway managing to equalize the supply gap despite the pretty much disastrous game he has been through is quite impressive to see how strong it can be to stay on 50 foot, but now I think a huge fight is about to break out. A lot of bears are still in GNL mode, Neo. They need to transform quickly, and here we go. The Fairy Dragon shocking quite a few units, mainly the heroes of Moon right now. Doing quite a lot of damage. This is just pure chaos. We have like 20 bears attacking each other right now. 15 Sway's Demon Hunter is low, but does have the Eye of Reincarnation there. Moon trying to focus that out right now. And yet, 2 bears dropping right there for 15 Sway right now. Another one being 3 going down actually in quick succession. Moon losing a decent amount as well, but managing to micro back most of his army. And 15 Sway is actually getting completely stomped in this fight. Moon here just with the superior positioning and micro here. Ancient of Wind trying to help out desperately in vain. The Demon Hunter goes down as well. We can see how much the fight just snowballs out of control when one player gets advantage in these engagements. Sway doing his best to try and pick off the stragglers here. Bear gets staffed home. Nicely done. And yeah, Moon deservedly in this game, bringing it back and winning the series 2-1. Nicely done.
That was the most convincing game so far of this entire day. Absolute snowball, as you can see at the end with the graph. 15 Sway, not a bad performance, but to beat Moon in a mirror match, you need to have that little special extra, and that wasn't the case here today. Moon 2-1, he's in the winner bracket final. 15 Sway has another shot in the lower bracket, and we have 4 more games here today, and the next one is very interesting to me because it's Starbuck versus Zoe.